You know, there's a powerful paradox right at the heart of being human. Every single instinct we have tells us to blend in, to find safety in the crowd. But what if fighting that instinct is actually the most important job you'll ever have? Our story today starts with a really strange problem researchers ran into on the African savannah. To really get why we crave being normal, we have to start with a more fundamental question. Why is it so dangerous to be different in the first place? Well, the answer is hardwired into our DNA, and a story about zebras explains it perfectly. So picture this. A team of researchers is out in the wild, trying to study zebra behavior. But they immediately hit a huge snag. Every time they'd find a specific zebra to watch, they'd look down to write a note, look back up, and poof, it was gone, lost in this dizzying sea of black and white stripes. The camouflage was working a little too well.
So they came up with what seemed like a really simple, clever fix. They got a paint gun and put a single, bright red dot on the side of the zebra they wanted to track. Just one tiny mark to make it stand out from the rest of the herd.
And at first, it worked like a charm. Suddenly, the target zebra was super easy to follow. But here's where the story takes a chilling turn. It wasn't just easy for the researchers to track. The local lions also found it incredibly easy to single out the zebra with the red dot. Within just a few days, every single zebra they marked had been hunted down and killed.
And this right here is the crucial point. The researchers had accidentally discovered what we can call the zebra effect. In nature, blending in equals safety. Standing out makes you a target. It's a fundamental survival instinct, and even though we aren't running from lions, that instinct is still buried deep inside all of us.
See, for a zebra, there's basically zero upside to standing out. But for us humans, it's the exact opposite. While our gut is screaming at us to just blend in, our potential, our fulfillment, our very identity as individuals depends on fighting that exact urge.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. This quote from Richard Dawkins, which Jeff Bezos loves to talk about, raises the stakes. This isn't just about social pressure anymore. This is a law of nature. The natural tendency of everything in the universe is to slide toward equilibrium with its environment, to just merge and disappear. The only thing stopping that from happening is active, constant work.
And this chart breaks it down perfectly. You've got these two forces pulling in opposite directions. On one side, you have equilibrium. That's being normal, blending in. That's the easy path. It's the direction the world is always pulling you. And on the other side, you've got distinctiveness, being unique, standing out. And notice what it says, it requires work. It requires your active effort.
So Bezos boils it all down to this one powerful question we should all be asking ourselves. How much energy are you actually putting into maintaining what makes you different? Because make no mistake, the world wants you to be typical. It's easier that way. Your job is to not let it happen.
Okay, so if this is a battle worth fighting, how do you actually, win? Well, this next section is your toolkit. It's full of practical, powerful ways to stand out on purpose. Here are a few of the big ones. And what you'll notice is that none of these are complicated or expensive. They're just shifts in your mindset and your daily habits. We're going to dive deep into a couple of these, starting with one that feels completely wrong in our always-on world.
First up, stop being afraid of boredom. We live in a time where we can fill every single empty second with a podcast, a video, some kind of noise or distraction. But the truth is, our most creative thoughts, our most unique ideas, they almost always show up when we give our minds permission to do absolutely nothing.
So, how do you do it? You have to be intentional. Seriously, schedule boredom in your calendar. Go for a walk without your headphones. Just sit on a bench. Let your mind wander wherever it wants to go. It's in those quiet moments when your thoughts can just bump into each other in new ways that real creative breakthroughs happen.
All right, the next tool is so simple, but it's becoming so rare. And that's exactly what makes it a superpower. In a world that's always chasing the next new shiny object, you can stand out by just mastering the timeless basics of being a good human. I mean, just look at this list. Being on time, doing what you say you're going to do, looking people in the eye, simple kindness. None of this is rocket science, right? But these things are the absolute foundation of respect, trust, and real connection. Some things just never, ever go out of style.
And finally, this is a huge mindset shift you have to make. It is so easy to measure your own progress against everybody else's, their job title, their vacation photos, their highlight reel on social media, but that is a trap. The only benchmark that matters, the only game worth playing, is you versus you from yesterday. Are you a little bit better, a little bit smarter, a little bit kinder than you were yesterday? That's it. That's the win.
So what's the big payoff for all this work, for taking the risk of being the zebra with the red dot? It isn't fame and it's not money. It's something way more valuable. The freedom to live your life completely on your own terms.
To really see what this looks like, let me tell you about Grigory Perelman. He's a Russian mathematician, probably one of the most brilliant minds on the entire planet. He solved one of the hardest math problems in history. And then, at the absolute peak of his career, he just walked away. He quit and now lives a totally secluded life. And since then, he has rejected pretty much every major award in his field. He turned down the Fields Medal, which is basically the Nobel Prize for mathematics. And then he turned down the Millennium Prize, which came with a check for $1 million. When people asked him why would you reject all of that? His answer was incredible. He just said, everybody understood that if the proof is correct, then no other recognition is needed. You see, for him, the reward was solving the problem. The work itself was everything. Nothing else mattered. Now, obviously, Perelman is an extreme example. But the lesson in there is for all of us. The ultimate goal of fighting for your own distinctiveness is to free yourself from needing other people's approval. It's about finding fulfillment in your own work, on your own journey. That is what it means to live a life on your own terms.
So, that's the choice we all have to make. The world is like gravity. It's always pulling you towards being typical, towards blending in with the herd. It's the safe path. It's the easy path. Maintaining what makes you different takes energy, it takes courage, and yeah, it comes with risk. So the only question left is, what are you going to do about it?